Hey there. So I know we're in like day 4 of the release of the 1950 US Census, and you're probably busy going through your list trying to find your people. And I've seen, well, I've gotten emails like that expressing some frustration because some people are having trouble finding their people in the census. So I thought I'd put together a short video that explains a couple of reasons why you might be having problems and ways that you could potentially fix them. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Julie Cahill-Tarr with Genealogy in Action, and I simplify advanced genealogy research concepts so you can chase down your elusive ancestors quickly and confidently. So if you're a dedicated genealogist looking to uplevel your research skills, you're in the right place. So the whole point of this video is to kind of simplify some of the challenges that you may be experiencing and give you some options on how to remedy that situation. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in. So my first reason why you might be having problems is because you're solely relying on the National Archives search functionality. Now, I will admit that I was very leery prior to the release about the artificial intelligence technology using handwriting recognition. I really didn't know what to expect. And so I made sure I was prepared with locations and addresses and then enumeration districts so that if this search capability wasn't very good or the index wasn't good, I had an alternative to find those people I really wanted to find. Now, again, I will admit, the indexing was actually pretty good. I really didn't think I'd find myself saying that, but there are definitely issues with it for sure. But I was quite impressed with what I saw. And I didn't always look very carefully at every single thing. I was only focused on my people, but I could tell that it was not horrible. It's not great, but it's not horrible. It's workable, right? But there are some problems with the search functionality in that, you know, we are used to websites like Ancestry and Family Search that we can put in a bunch of search criteria to help us narrow down certain criteria, right? So for example, if I put in my name, Julie Tarr, into the search, I'm going to get a bunch of stuff. And part of that is because it's looking for both of those names basically on the same page. It doesn't matter if they're next to each other or not. It's looking for both. On top of that, it's also looking for results that perhaps sound alike and look alike. So, for example, I had an instance where, and I talked about it in one of my other videos, but where I was looking for Sydney and Mildred Hicks in California. And as I was looking through the results, I could see the name, I think it was Fidney with an F. Now, why it gave it an F, maybe it was an L, I can't even remember. I don't know, because when I look at it, it's clearly an S. So I don't know why it misread it, but that was enough for me to see that it was close enough to Sydney. It had every other letter correct. And then the next person listed was Mildred. So I'm like, this has to be them. And I looked at the image and it was them. But I got a ton of results on that, and some of them didn't make sense. But anyways, back to the other issue of putting in my name, for example. So it's going to look for things like far with an F, because a cursive T and a cursive F look very similar. It might look for sound alikes. So it might find tar with one R. Okay, fair enough. It might find like car or dar. There's a lot of variations that it's kind of pulling in. So your search results are massive. And I think they're doing that to accommodate for the possibility that it was, the handwriting was recognized incorrectly. So they're trying to pull in more results, which is helpful to an extent. But because we don't have the capability to really drill down and put in other parameters to zero in, like using a year of birth, for example, or gender, or other identifiers like we can use on Ancestry and Family Search, we get like a ton of results, and it makes it very cumbersome and a little overwhelming. So there are some problems with the search. And of course, there are problems with the index as well. So if you are relying solely on that index right now and not targeting enumeration districts based on where they lived, perhaps right before or right after the 1950 census was taken, you're probably going to be stuck, and you're probably going to have to wait until Ancestry and Family Search and MyHeritage develop their indexes, or people are correcting the index on the National Archives website. If you don't want to wait, I suggest that you watch my other video that talks about prepping for the 1950 census. It'll show you how to find enumeration districts. I actually show you my whole process of what I did, and hopefully that'll help you out. And you can actually get in there and start looking, doing targeted searches, so to speak. So, okay, that was kind of a big one. The second one has to do with Ancestry. So I am going to share my screen, show you what I mean here. Okay, so this is the home page, and like every time I come here, it's something different. So you kind of have to look for this thing right here, this 1950 Census District Finder, and you can search by location to get details about enumeration districts and view the images. So this is kind of the pathway that they think they want you to follow. So if we come here, and if I do a search, so I'm going to do search for this. So I've already found this particular one, but so I type in an address and it kind of zooms in and shows me. There it is. Okay. So you kind of get these enumeration district maps in here. So if I zoom in, I can tell that, yes, this is indeed the correct location, and the enumeration district is 22-1. And I can click on this little link here, and it will take me, I'll right click on it here so you can see it. So it'll take me to the entire enumeration district of 22-1. It's 41 pages, and I can start kind of scrolling through and looking for that 375 Oak Street address. Now, some of these work really good and they're reliable. However, they are not always reliable. So for example, I'm going to type in 3036 Wellington in Chicago. Search, and it's going to take me all the way over here. And it's going to take me right here. Now, I know from looking at a Google map that this is not the right enumeration district. I actually know which enumeration district it's in, but I can tell just by looking at these. Now, sometimes it's really hard to read these streets, but I can see Lowell is here. I can't remember what this, I think it's Kildare, Kildare. But I know these are not the streets that are around where my people lived on Wellington. So if I relied solely on this and it took me here, okay, great. And I click on it and I go page by page by page by page. Finally get to Wellington, I'm in like the 4,000s. And I want to be in the 3,000s. The address is 3036. I don't want 4036. And that's about where it puts me. It's like the 4,000s. So I know that the enumeration district is actually right here, this 103 3081. If I click on that, it shows me the map, and then I can, it does put it over here, and I can click on it and go to it, and it is indeed in this enumeration district. So while I appreciate Ancestry's attempt to kind of make things a little bit easier and to potentially eliminate the need, sorry to Steve Morse, but to eliminate the need for his census enumeration district finder, this is not perfect. And this is not the only instance that this has happened on. I've had at least 5 that were popping up in the wrong place. So in my opinion, I would not rely on this. And the alternative to that is to either when you come here, and unfortunately the images are not that great, so it's really hard to read the streets. Like you can't even really read them in some cases. And so using this might not be the best idea. I would go to Steve Morse and I would do an enumeration district search using his tool and then go directly to that enumeration district, either using the map, just kind of moving around until you find it, or the alternative is to go back to the home page, and under the Special Records Collection, 1950 Census is right here, and you can click on that and go directly into it. And then you can use your thing here. So I'll show you a little trick here too. That's right, this is the one that has Chicago cook instead of just Chicago undercook. Go figure. Now there's a gazillion enumeration districts in here. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm just going to click on the first one, and then up here at the top, I'm going to type in 103-3, whoops, that was not a 3081. And now I am in that enumeration district that I wanted. Instead of having to scroll through all of these, that was just the easiest way to do it. And what keeps popping me back to weird things. This is a little screwy. So just make sure that your stuff is indeed correct. But at any rate, so problem number 2 is relying solely on the Ancestry map situation, because unfortunately it's not perfect. Of course, no tool is ever perfect. We know that. But I just wanted to call your attention to that, because if you're relying on that, might not be a good idea. It might be better just to find the enumeration district on your own and proceed. So my number 3 is the wrong enumeration district. So I've actually had a couple of these. One, I think I typed in the enumeration district wrong in my spreadsheet. My second problem was I had the wrong address in one. It was like I transposed the numbers, so it gave me the wrong address, which of course then gave me the wrong enumeration district. So those were like user errors, my bad, right? want to show you an example, and this happens frequently. And if you're not thinking about it or looking at a map, an enumeration district map, you may be missing out on some information. So I am going to go to Illinois, Cook County, Chicago. In case you haven't realized already, most of my people are from Chicago. And I am going to put in, actually, no, I don't want Chicago in this case. I actually want Elmwood Park. And I am going to put in 7728, and it's Sunset. And of course, I come down here, and there is no Sunset. There's Sun Valley Court, but there's no Sunset. And I'm not even seeing the side streets or the back streets or anything that even look remotely close, and I'm not sure why. So what I ended up doing is I looked for the enumeration district map instead. And I can see right here what the problem is. So it's showing me Elmwood Park ED 16-316 to 334. You come back here, the enumeration districts are 90 dash something, not 16. So there is actually an issue with this. This actually goes to Tazewell County. So if I click on one of them, it shows me it's in Tazewell County. That's not what I want. So I'm not sure what happened with this one. I was a little goofy, but at any rate, I want to look at the map. So I look at the map and I can see that street I'm looking for is Sunset, and it's right here. It's this curved street right here. And I know from looking at the Google map of today that the address is like right here where my arrow is. So it's kind of north of Schubert, southeast of Diversey. And so I can see that it would potentially be in one of two enumeration districts. It's like, okay, great. Which one is it? And the reason it could be in two, actually it could be in more if you actually follow the entire street, but we're just talking about this block, this block right here. And we can see that it can be either 320 or 321. So what we need to do is figure out which side of the street the residence is on to know which of these two to look in. So I know it's actually on this side of the street here, so I'm not going to pull up the Google map and show you and waste time, but it is right here on this side of the street. So I know that the enumeration district I want is 16-320. Now, I can't tell what the Steve Morris website would have done, because again, it's pointing to Tazewell County's enumeration district, so that doesn't help me. But my guess is, had I been able to put the information in, it probably would have left me with these two. No matter what I did, it would probably put me in these two, and I'd have to search through both. So that's beneficial. And it might have left me with one, and it might have left me with this one. Who knows? I don't know, because I can't, do it because there's something wrong with that particular batch. But my point being is, if you're going through page by page and you're not seeing the house number, are you seeing the house number similar that is across the street? So like your address is odd and you're seeing all evens, meaning it's on the other side of the street. That could be an indication that and that's all you're seeing in the enumeration district. You've looked at every page, you looked at all the addresses, you find the evens, but not the odds. That would be an instance where the district line was on the street that you're looking at, and it might be on the other side in another enumeration district. So I just want to call your attention to that, because I've seen a lot of people have issues with not being able to find the house number, and this may very well be one of those problems. So if I had started in 16321 and not found it, I can clearly see, oops, these are the odds over here, and these are the evens. So I'm looking for 7728, which is even, and it would be in this enumeration district. I hope that made sense. So point being is, if you find that you're not finding the house number, kind of quickly glance and see, are you seeing the numbers, but they're not the odds that you're looking for, they're not the evens that you're looking for. Chances are that enumeration district may very well be divided on that street, and therefore it's in another enumeration district. So I hope that all made sense. And so I'm going to stop sharing and come back on camera. Okay, so that was number 3. So number 4, I haven't actually seen an instance of this yet. I haven't really been doing a lot of searching for my people, but I haven't seen an instance of this yet, but I'm sure that it has probably happened somewhere along the line. And that is, you will notice, actually, let me go back to share screen. Just want to show you an example. Okay, so here, right here, this 447 East 87th place, it says no one at home. And then it says see sheet 71, lines 7 through 9. Now, I'm not going to go to this sheet and the lines. However, I just want to call your attention to this, because this is what they were supposed to do, is note that no one was home, and then where the information was on the callback sheets, basically. I don't know if that's what they were called, but at the end of the enumeration district, starting with page 71, there is a batch of these people who were not at home on the first go around, and eventually they caught up with them and added them. So they were supposed to put it here. They're supposed to note that. Now, again, I haven't seen an instance of this. Here's another one. But it wouldn't surprise me in the least if there was a lazy enumerator who just really didn't feel like putting that down, but yet still recorded them on those sheets. So as far as I'm concerned, this would be kind of an instance, in a way, of like exhaustive research. And that would be, okay, I don't see like the house number. Maybe the house number isn't listed at all. Like maybe 447 is missing, and that's the one we want. And I see 445 and I see 453, and it's like, okay, great. Where's 447? Maybe they didn't put it down. Maybe they didn't say no one was at home. But yet, if you go to those back sheets, starting with page 71 and start going through them, you might just find this 447 East 87th place. So just because they didn't put it in doesn't mean they didn't account for them later and put them at the end. They just didn't make a note of it. Now, I, again, have not seen an instance of this yet, but it wouldn't surprise me if there was at least one person, one enumerator that just didn't do it, forgot to do it, was lazy, whatever the case may be. So if you're not seeing, again, if you're not seeing the number that you're looking for, but you're seeing other numbers, for example, I would always go to the page labeled 71 and look for it there. So I'm going to actually let's jump to page 30 here and see where we're at. So 73. So I've got 2 to go to start at 71. And I would just go through here and start going through and looking for that address. So, and here it is actually. I think this is potentially it. Nope, this was 88th place. But at any rate, I just wanted to call your attention to that it is possible that it wasn't noted in like the kind of main portion of the census, but they are actually enumerated on these back pages, or whatever you want to call them, starting with page 71. So always look there just in case, because you never know. You don't know until you look, right? So I hope that you found this helpful and that you're like, okay, maybe I should check and make sure I have the right enumeration district, either because I accidentally transposed numbers like I did, or just completely randomly threw in a number. I don't even know where I came up with one of the enumeration district numbers. I must have done something really wrong because it was completely out of whack. But I hope that you've got some ideas on how you can potentially remedy the situation that you're finding yourself in with not being able to find the people you're looking for. So I would encourage you to kind of think through each of these 4 ideas and see how you might be able to remedy the situation. So I hope that you found this video helpful, and I would love for you to subscribe using the button below and then click the little bell so you'll be notified when new videos are released. And I've got more 1950 census related stuff in the pipeline. So be sure to subscribe and hit the little bell. Then you'll be notified when new videos are released. See you next time.